Thank you, Hunter. My name is Karen Talmadge, and like you, I'm here to stop diabetes. Diabetes sucks. I think my daughter first said that when she was 7, and it has never, and I know we've all said it, and it is more than true. Now, 2 years ago, I met our keynote speaker, Ruddy, and I have to tell you, she is amazing. I was just in awe of her achievements and her passion to stop diabetes. So now, when Mari was 1, her father was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. When she was 16, she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And then her brother, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes a few years later. Now, if that's not enough, at the age of 39, she found out that she had breast cancer, which went into remission and then recurred. Yep. She has had breast cancer twice, and she has type 1 diabetes. So along with the challenges that come with fighting 2 terrible diseases, she made an interesting discovery that became the driving force behind all that she does to stop diabetes. An accomplished athlete, she realized that she wasn't really being celebrated for her athletic achievements because she had diabetes in the way she was because she had cancer. So Mari made it her mission to change this, to empower people with diabetes. A longtime volunteer for the American Diabetes Association in Colorado, she first created the idea of Red Riders wearing special red jerseys for her local Tour de Cure and founded Team Red in Colorado back in 2007. Well, as you know, now all cyclists and diabetes nationwide that ride in any one of our 85 Tour de Cures are Red Riders, and we celebrate them as heroes. Come on, let's celebrate them. Now, so every event has a Team Red for Red Riders and their families and friends. And nationwide, incredibly, these Team Reds have raised an unbelievable $1.27 million just this year. So, of course, as you know, this led to the Red Strider program, celebrating all our walkers with diabetes in all of our Step Out events nationwide. But you know, Mari didn't stop there. She also realized that Red Riders and Red Striders, and many people with diabetes, are looking for some way to really improve their athletic performance while managing their diabetes well. So she founded Team Wild. We inspire life with diabetes. And Team Wild provides online programs and athletic camps run by expert coaches that train adults with diabetes in their sports, whether that sport is walking, cycling, running, or competing in a triathlon. All of this because of Mari's unique experiences, insights, and unwavering resolve. And now, here to talk about how to take an idea and turn it into a movement is our very own and very amazing Mari Ruddy.
All right, it's so good to be here. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. High five, high five. All right. It is so fantastic to be here. I set the lights off. I just got energy, and apparently Larry says it's okay. You don't have to leave. It's a false alarm. Although what we're doing, stopping diabetes, is absolutely not a false alarm. I'm just, hearing someone I really admire who's going to be the chairperson of the board of this amazing organization tell my story is like, wow. And I was like, all right, I'm learning in life. I get lots of chances in life to learn, is to just feel the amazingness of all of you who work so hard for diabetes. And I'm just going to feel it. Yeah. Why don't you join me in feeling it? Just look around at the people at your table and go, yeah, we're cool. Just come on, just do it. Yeah, you're cool. It feels good, it's like we're cool. So Karen told you kind of the stream of the story. Do you want to hear me tell the story of how we came to have the Red Riders? Yeah? Get you fired up for the next few days, right? Because this is where we incubate. And then on Sunday, you go home and you, propagate. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the deal. I was born. Rural Minnesota. I'm 40, yeah, there's Minnesota. I'm Minnesota peeps, yep. And I'm 47 now. I know I don't look a day over 46. And like Karen said, when I was 1, my dad found out he had diabetes. And when you live in rural Minnesota in the 1960s and 1970s, and there wasn't much technology. My dad was tall, he was lean, he was athletic, and he didn't look like he had diabetes. Oh, fancy that. No one who has diabetes looks like they have it. That's one of the weird things about diabetes. And he chose to not talk about his diabetes. And, only those of us who were really close to him really understood what he was up against. And we knew because of the bruises on his abdomen from sharpening with a whetting stone and boiling the syringes and hoping that maybe you could detect the low blood sugar, which he mostly often couldn't, at least once a year. He had the kind of low blood sugars that resulted in him having a seizure and being taken away by an ambulance because we thought maybe this time he was possibly gonna die. That's what I grew up with, that visceral feeling of my dad, who I loved dearly, might die this time from diabetes. And so when I found out that when I was 16, that I myself had this thing, I was like, dang. So being a rebellious teenager, Leah, I don't know if you ever rebelled yet when you were a teenager, but we rebel, and my dad was quiet about his diabetes because that's what he chose. So being rebellious, you do the opposite of your parents. I was loud. You can now relate. Yeah, I go with it. So I took the bus to the Minnesota office of the American Diabetes Association, and I learned everything I could about diabetes and how I could manage it. I went to Camp Needlepoint. I was a camp counselor. And I just became a walking encyclopedia about what it was to have diabetes. I started wearing a pump when the pumps first came out. I've been wearing this thing for 19 years, not this exact model, but for 19 years. I'm an early adapter of technology. I like to push the edges, and I like to show up because, you see, the thing is, when I was 30, I went to the endocrinologist because I'm a rule follower. I was a high school principal for a while. I like rules. So I went to the doctor every 3 to 6 or 8 months, depending on how much I liked the particular doctor I was seeing. And she told me that my A1C was almost 13. Yeah, not many audiences know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Fast track to death. That's essentially what she told me. So I had a choice. I learned even more, and the one thing I wasn't doing a good job of was exercise. Now, every person with diabetes is told they're supposed to exercise, but figuring out how to do it when you have diabetes, type 1 or type 2, is actually really hard. So I figured it out, and then I discovered I love the bicycle. I love riding my bike. That Tina here, who was up here, endocrinologist Tina, I was like, yeah, ride your bike. So I started riding, and I did a 400-mile bike ride across the state of Colorado. My blood sugar stayed never below 80 for 7 days of riding. Yeah, thanks, yeah, feel the love. And never went above about 200. Even I was eating a lot of carbs. So diabetes, I figured it out, but then I didn't recover, and I was 39 at this point. I probably didn't even look more than 38. So some of you are catching that. Okay, so I found out I had cancer. And I was like, wow, what did I do in another life to deserve all this bad stuff? And I had chemo, and I had radiation, and I had surgery, all while I had diabetes, and it was very dramatic. Cancer is very dramatic. You go into hyperdrive like drama. And then I went and I did, because, the thing is, having cancer or having diabetes does not in and of itself make you courageous. It's just what is. It's what you do with it that matters. It's how you show up that is impactful. Because diabetes and cancer, or whatever it is you got, those are just the circumstances. So 1 week, after I had finished 36 rounds of radiation and was so out of it that my diabetes was crazy out of control from all the steroids during chemo. I did my first triathlon. Why not? I wasn't dead. Yeah. And I was in the Team Survivor wave. And people were just loving on me. I mean, people I never knew were just cheering for me. And I thought, well, this is really cool. And what it did, it was like a salve, a balm of healing on all that puking I'd done. And then a month later, I showed up at my 10th Tour de Cure, because I was at one of the first Tour de Cures out in California. I've lived a lot of places. And nobody said anything to me, because you can blend when you have diabetes. You can act like nothing's going on, because you don't look different most of the time, except if you're low and, or you lost your foot. But most of the time, you can blend. My dad blended. And I was riding in that Tour de Cure, and I was like, do you have diabetes? Do you have diabetes? Are you my mother? I was like, I want to know where the people are who have diabetes. No more blending. I want courage. I want Americans to know that I have diabetes. I am what diabetes looks like. And when I get on my bicycle or I lace up my shoes, that is courage. And I want some salve. I want some balm. I want to give that balm to the people who know. Because the story in your head when you have diabetes is, do I have what I need? Do I have my pump? Is the battery working? Well, how many carbs am I going to eat? What if something's go wrong? Is what I'm doing going to cause complications later? It's chaos in your head sometimes when you have diabetes. Yeah. So there's two parts of the Red Rider program and the Red Strider program that I want you to be the missionaries out there telling people what this is about. No more hiding. That's number one. No more blending in. That's why we have this gorgeous jersey or the awesome hats. I ride with diabetes. So identity. No more we want to stand out. We want to scream who we are. And then part two of the program is Go Red Rider. And in a minute because Go Red Rider means I love you. It's that simple. I love you for your courage. I love you for daring to not blend in. I love you for getting on your bicycle and figuring out how to be a warrior for your own health. I love you because you care about who you are. That's what it means when you say Go Red Rider. It's too long to say all that. So you just say Go Red Rider or Go Red Strider. So in just a second, Hunter's going to come back up in just a moment. And I want you, because I was a high school principal, you got to take one note, redriderhangout.com. Check it out. I interview a Red Rider every week. I want you to know about that. I want you to send me people who I could interview. What I want you to do is just lean forward. You've been sitting for a long time. Is I want you to just whisper to everybody at your table. If you're a walker, do Go Red Strider. If you're a cyclist, go Red Rider. Okay, just do it real quick. Yeah, okay. Now we got to practice, because you see, you guys are the ones who are going to step out and tell everybody in the world how amazing it is to live well with diabetes. Got it? So what we're going to do is if you are a person in this room who you live with diabetes, this is a big deal. It's a big deal when you stand up in front of your own people, because we're our own people. And you acknowledge that you are the one who, you can't tell who's sitting at your table unless you know them, if they have diabetes. So if you are a Red Rider or a Red Strider, I'd like you to stand up. Yep. No, stay standing. Now here's what we're going to do, because Hunter's gonna come up and we're gonna just finish this off. And you gotta practice it, because you guys we gotta like rock New Orleans in preparation for the parade tonight, okay? All right, you're gonna yell, and right now you gotta feel in your heart, I love you. All right, just feel, I love you, but you don't say that because that's weird. All right. You're gonna say, go Red Rider, or if you're Walker, say, go Red Strider. On the count of 3, we're gonna rock this world. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Go Red Rider! Woohoo! Have an awesome conference. Thank you. Where is he? He's somewhere. Hunter, you're supposed to come. It's so great to be here. We're gonna have fun, aren't we? Come talk to me and look up Go Red Rider, or the Red Rider Hangout. Again, I was audacious, wasn't I? He said audacious. You gotta be audacious, right? Thank you.